All right, ladies and gentlemen, traders, welcome back to another Relentless recap. So in this one, we'll be talking about today's trading. We are flat on the day, green 270 bucks, not a ton. Things were a little tricky, a little choppy early before momentum really came in on some cheaper stocks. But let's get into it. Let's talk about LGVN and his big loss. We'll talk about IVP and a few of the other stocks in the middle. All right. So LGVN, let's start with this one. I mean, pre-market was really sensational, 250 to 714, absolutely impressive. And that turned out to be about a 170% move. Just really impressive stuff. Coming into the open though, it was pulling back a little bit, was having some trouble. And it did have a range, but I was not able to trade the range because I was watching another stock in VRPX. This one, a pharmaceutical stock, in the first couple of minutes did give a good push, but believe it or not, the way how this played out, wasn't able to capture any of this move. It did about 45%. I can show some archives here to show you guys how it moved up and why I wasn't able to capitalize. So I chose to watch this one. As a result, didn't watch LGVN, kind of missed out on it a little bit. But even this range looked pretty choppy, man. I saw some of the other guys do well here, but it really wasn't a ton, right? I mean, we had some range, but it was up, then down, ultimately trending lower. And every time it got up to VWAP, it rejected. Now, because we're in a stronger market, I did give it the benefit of the doubt over here, the third time, thinking we would be able to push through and start a bit of an uptrend, something like this, hopefully, right, curling up. But I was mistaken. I got long, and, around 550 area, I got brutalized. I think I'm in at 45. I'm out at 11 on this big drop, almost at the very bottom of this candlestick. That was a brutal loss for me, taking me from about red 300 to red 1K. Just very disappointing to have had that happen in that time. LGVN. That definitely pushed us back a ton on the day. All right, let's talk about, I guess we can do the extremes. We'll talk about IVP, then we'll look at VVPR. So IVP, this one, started off the day a little slower. We did have some action early, but lighter volume up until around 950, where we got to a high of 448. From there, it didn't really do much up until after the lunch hour, really. Around 1 p.m., 2 p.m. is where it really caught fire, especially around, was that 1:30? 1:30 is where we really started to gain volume. Yeah, 13:21, right? 1:21 p.m. Pushed up nicely, big volume, and went from 475 to 588. This is what really started the move, and once it pulled back to this level, it did ended up holding up VWAP area, and then curled back up here, coming into 2 p.m. and giving this beautiful 5-minute 3-bar play. From here, we did get a bit of an uptrend coming into it. From there, we pushed up nicely to 575, and then we had the retest of high of day, 580s, and then that took us all the way to 680, giving us another $1 a share. This stock was tricky though, the spreads were massive. I used a ton of limit orders because market orders were tricky. I still did use some, but you had to use limit as well. Right here we had a beautiful wedge, and we did have support, which I did like about this move here. We were holding sideways, and then we pushed up nicely all the way to 775, 825, and then this thing continued. I think I might have set the wrong high of day earlier, maybe mixing that up with a different stock. But anyhows, we got up to 819 after a resumption. We started to have a bit of a range. It held up this low so well here, and it continued pushing. We got back over 820. I thought it might have been finished here initially, but it kept holding up its levels. And so from 930, 840, 850, 830 area, we pushed up to 885, and then eventually got up to 946. A few bottoming wicks in here, but definitely a little tricky. We kind of, made a lot, lost a lot on this one. We made 1100, but we probably also lost maybe like 1600. We lost a fair amount here trying to get ourselves a little higher. That's IVP. Moving on to VVPR. This one, I think we took one loss at VWAP, I believe over here. Or maybe before, actually might have been before. Yeah. Over here, 38. So very early in the day, we took a loss in this one. Again, similar trade to the other stock where I'm looking for the break of VWAP. Thinking that we're in a stronger market, we should see a bit of a push and not quite seeing it. One of the better stocks for me though today, KZIA, and well, for me, I mean KZIA was good for me. VRPX, I was green before we move forward to KZIA. VRPX, I was green like 1500, I think, before I gave back profits. So this one was a little disappointing, despite missing the first move up. On the second move, we were really able to get ourselves going, but we did give back in this downtrend, trying to get the dips. And sometimes when the 5-minute chart looks good, you know, I got to be careful about not over trading, because right here I'm thinking we're holding up. We had lower volume on this red candle. I want to see this 5-minute candle open up and make the new high eventually and push up like that, but that's not the case, right? And so a lot of these stocks are only seeing 1 or 2 bars in the first 5-minute candles, and then from there to the depths, right? So something to be careful of, something to be mindful of is these one and done essentially kind of opportunities. So gotta do a better job retaining the gains there. Other than that, I think this is where the day could have been better for me. I actually kind of got frustrated today to the point where I was like, I needed a break. So I left out, and this is, you know, not great timing because KZIA was moving up. And, you know, I kind of got upset for something that's silly because it's part of the deal, which is just opportunity costing. You know, something similar happened to me yesterday where I was watching at a different stock and something else was moving. Where did this breakout start? I think around 10:20. Right here. Was it here? No. I think it was over somewhere. Yeah, so, yeah, right here. Right here. Right here in this range. I'm watching at a different stock, but I see this move happening, and I do not take the time to really pull it up. But again, it's this thing where opportunity is costing because the other stock wasn't looking awful, right? So I didn't look at it. I looked back later. I'm kind of missing this move up to 40. This thing went from 34 up to 46. Got frustrated. Felt like I missed the move. Tried trading the pullback right here. And you know, after such a big move, we're going to need a pullback. Tried trading the pullback a couple times. Lost. And after stopping out the last time, this is where we bottomed out to then make the red to green. Right here is where I was like, yeah, I'm done on the day. I'm just going to take a break, come back later. But, you know, not the wisest thing to do in an area where the stock still is, you know, making a new high and aggressive. Because if we look at what's going to transpire here, not only did we curl up here and retest the highs, but we held up this level again, providing another dip opportunity right in this range for then a new high of day, which ended up going up to 64. Yeah, 64. And then I think I was still in the live stream right here. So I kind of was throwing in the towel for now. And then seeing this move again, I kind of got enraged. And I'm like, yep, I'm done. Right here is where I left after this red candle. And I did see this dip. But, you know, again, after missing this move, I was just thinking this dip was just way too... like the stock was way too extended. Felt like I missed the move. But again, you know, sometimes you got to just push through. And this thing continued going. Another uptrend into a massive candlestick, halting up, resuming, going higher. This is where I could have done really well if I stuck around in these types of areas like that. Maybe even right here. Well, we would have had to avoid this big red candle, trying to buy high for the breakout. Other than that, it did well. Nice bottoming wick here. And a beautiful push to the upside. Other than that, it would have been also, hey, backside. Let's avoid backside and not overtrade this level going down. Because these types of candles, you can really give back quickly. But, I mean, if I'm doing my job here, and this is what? 192% move. Even if we got caught in the first couple of candles here, what's that, 10%, right? If our share size is moderate, we shouldn't give back anything compared to what we could have done. So this is a missed opportunity for me for sure. Should have stuck it out, but all part of the deal. I felt so frustrated that I needed to move. So one of those type of things. I don't usually get frustrated, but I kind of got frustrated today a little bit. That was KZIA. And Tesla. I wasn't patient enough. I was not patient enough. In which area was this? I missed the open, of course, because I wasn't watching. I was trading small caps here. Right here. Oh, right here. I could have caught this washout. This is where I was trading it against the highs. Right here and right here. So initially I had some chop, but I wasn't patient enough in this area here. Could have done well from 65 to lows of 64.50 and then 64.20. There wasn't a huge sell-off, but could have maybe ended green 150, 200. And from there, it held up. The stock is pretty strong right now. I maybe could have tried to go long here, but I wasn't paying attention to it. This is a beautiful breakout. Continued. Actually, no, I think I might have gotten caught trying to short here as well. And I then looked for, yeah, I think I tried to short right at the whole dollar here. Right here. And it broke out by 20 cents, so I stopped out. I wanted to go long, but we didn't really quite get a proper dip. We had a high of 97. This was too high for me. If we break out and can pull back a little quicker, then I can be in, but not 97. So that trade was kind of gone. But for anybody who took the breakout here, the high of day break from 65 to 66.75, $1.75 a share. This might not sound like a lot, but it is, right? Especially for our small cap stocks. I mean, $1.70 move on a breakout, with just 500 shares, if I to capture $1 share, it's $500, right? I mean, it adds up quickly. But yeah, that was the day, flat day for me. Again, I think I was up 1,500. VRPX, we gave back way too much on this one. If we're to retain 1,000 of the gains, we look a lot better on the day. That's an extra $600 already. And then LGVN really is what got us, because we would have been on pace for our like 2K a day, right? LGVN, if we don't get caught into that nonsense drop that happened at VWAP right here, because my risk was like 5 cents, I lost like 40 cents. If I don't get caught into this drop, we're down maybe just 300 on this one, which will put us in a decent place as well. So that's what, about $1,100 between those two stocks, those two areas. So we could have been right there where we needed to be. Let's go for the archive today. I'll pull this to the side here just for a sec. Let's pull up the archive just to show you guys the first couple of minutes. So I tried to buy the early dip on LGVN. I took a small loss there. So we were at 620, pulled back to about 85 right here. I'm going to try to take the dip in that area. You can see the spreads, the level 2 just acting so crazy. But I'm in. It does come down to 75. I take the loss. But right here, it immediately jumps back to about 96. So that was a close trade. Kind of in just a little too early there, because we could have been in maybe 80. Out at 6. That would have been better. Or maybe out at 605. VRPX on the other hand. So again, remember I mentioned this one had range, but the other one started to move, right? So notice that there's resistance at 220 on VRPX. So once I noticed it pushing up like this, I'm like, okay, can we break 20? If we do, maybe we can push over the level some more for the pre-market highs at 30. And this is where I kind of get chopped out. I'm in at 20, 22. It's back at 17. It kind of dips for a second there. And so LGVN, It's not that this one was bad or anything, but I thought this was a more obvious opportunity to get in, right? So now that I'm looking back and seeing this big topping wick and this flush, I'm like, man, what's going on here? This isn't looking too great. So, I check it out. I'm like, okay, whatever. It seems like this one might be a little bit more choppy. And then I'm going to come back to VRPX eventually. But notice it's back at like 23 right here. There's more sellers, 25. And in this area is where it's going to start to jump. So from 25, we got to 30. This is where I first really noticed it after that first trade. So coming back, right? So from 25 to 30, maybe right there, I could have bought 22 since we had a little bit of resistance there. But I don't have a good gauge on the stock right now. 21, and then this is where I'm going to start to feel like I'm chasing the move. We just went from 21, 22, where maybe I could have bought, to now 40, 41. And just like that, I'm thinking, I'm not in mid to low 20s. I can't buy 41, right? We just ripped over the pre-market highs. If we can see a pullback here, that could be good. But, we had 34, 35, but not super interested there. Still feels like it's extended off that move. Then it just jumps to 54 on the ask. So this is how this one kind of moved, where I could not get long, right? Could not. Well, I guess I could have, but felt like I was chasing if I did that, right? 50 and 55. It's just moving up in a chunky kind of way here. 50 on the bids, 46 on the bids, 45, 42. And then I believe it's going to curl back up here again. So 50, we can skip ahead a little. 52. Could I have tried high of day here, or maybe 40? But even 40 felt high, man. But if I took 55, 54, I could have maybe been selling at 70. But very aggressive trades, man. Very aggressive trades. They're definitely there. They're definitely there. But again, missing out that entry 20, not getting a red candle in there. We did see the baby pullback, but again, the baby pullback was so tight that I felt uncomfortable buying. And that's how a stock can go from 217 to 270. And you kind of miss it. But from there is where I started trying to trade that one. So let's see how much I did go up after I started getting involved. So I was up 1K right there. I think maybe that was my highs, like 1K, 1200. Let's go back some more. Might have had some quicker losses somewhere. Yeah, I wasn't super green on it. I think like 1200 might have been like my max. Yeah, like we're flirting with like 1200, 1100 right there. Yeah. Anyhows, that's going to do it for the recap. Hit that thumbs up. Stay safe, stay green. It's been a Relentless Trader. Small, flat, green day. Small day, flat. I call it flat day, right? So stay safe, stay green. I'll catch you guys tomorrow, bright and early, around 9 a.m. Hit that thumbs up on the way out. Check out those links down below for the classes, for the chapters, for the chat room, everything that we have to offer here in the community. Here's a link for the classes. This is what it looks like, Merciless Markets University. Let's see if I can grab the link for the chat room. Let me just make sure everything looks good here. I can grab the link for the chat room. You guys can check out the Relentless Trading chat room. Yeah, we usually talk a little later into the day, right? 5 p.m. Some people are still chatting. We can come into the P&L section and see how everyone did today. We have Dynamo with a really nice day here. We have Enzo with a nice day. SF getting it done with a nice day. We have Glump, who's been doing nice recently, getting it done. Save on the red side today, from green, maybe about 5K, maybe 7K, to then red 40K, but then bouncing back to finishing down 17,000. So that's a nice recovery. Of course, Save is a little more aggressive, higher appetite for risk. So he'll have some bigger gains, some bigger losses from time to time. Cactus Rob, one of the students, also doing very well here, 1,500 on the day. SF getting it done. We have Marcelo posting, having a nice day of 7,000 today. We had, okay, this was Save's coming back, posting. Danny P, smaller red today. Danny P has also been doing really well recently. We had Lucas with a nice day. Lagum finishing green as well. Can't skip over anything here. I guess we got to put the emojis as we go. Blew it. Bradley saying he blew it today. Red 360. Bar the deal. Oren. Oren looks like he's getting it done. Climbing slowly and steadily. Way to go. I think KZIA for me was one of those area stocks that I could have done better, you know, sticking around, especially Dynasty, getting it done. Small green, J, getting it done. Small green, and Green Dream. And there's more. I think there's a couple more. Minty, getting it done. Mr. Man, Marcelo, Dan, getting it done. Beam from red 3K to up 3K, really nice. Mark, small red. And then Tim, there's a couple more, but we'll end it there. Else we'll keep going for eternity. We have Tim, who had a nice day as well. And the last link is from Momo Pro. For those of you who are interested in the scanning software that we use, right? You can utilize coupon code Relentless for 25% off for 6 months. This is where I of course, get my watch list every single day. All right, Momo Pro. Other than that, yeah, the classes. Let's see, YGMZ, IVP, AP, LGVN, VRPX, all the hot stocks we traded today. Other than that, check out the classes. You can utilize, actually, we don't have a coupon code. I was going to say you can utilize coupon code Miami, but that coupon is no longer out there. We'll probably have another coupon sometime soon for those of you who are looking for something in terms of getting involved, right? Coupon-wise. Yeah, but you guys can check out the classes. This is where it goes down. Merciless markets. This is where we have the full meat and potatoes of our trading strategy, right? In terms of hyper scalping, getting in and out hundreds of times within one day. We have our live archives. We have our Q&As. We have our one-on-one sessions, our weekly archive, our weekly lectures. I'm confusing everything here as I'm talking so fastly. Our ongoing lectures, our weekly Q&As. There we go. That's what I'm trying to say. And you also can get access to the other mentors, Tim, Marcelo, Tom. But yeah, take it easy. Stay safe. Stay green. I'll catch you guys in the next one. It's been a Relentless Trader. And I am, if I can find my Discord panel, signing out. Hit that thumbs up.